So Sri Ramakrishna said, he only says, no, I want to go to my mother. One must feel such yearning for God. Ah, what yearning! How restless a child feels for his mother. Nothing can make him forget his mother. He to whom the enjoyment of worldly happiness appears tasteless, he who takes no delight in anything of the world, money, name, creature comforts, sense pleasure, becomes sincerely grief-stricken for the vision of the mother. And to him alone, the mother comes running, leaving all her other duties. Ah, that restlessness is that whole thing. Whatever path you follow, whether you are a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Sakta, a Vaishnava, a Brahmo, the vital point is restlessness. God is our inner guide. It doesn't matter if you take the wrong path, only you must be restless for Him. Sri Ramakrishna. But this restless can be a confusing word in English. The Hindi word is Vyakulta, the Vyakulta, the Param Vyakulta, which Hanuman Poddar talks about, is not very well translated as a great restlessness. It feels like we are in alien territory. The play of Maya must start to feel like we are in the wrong planet. So Kabirji told us that Neharva hamko na bhave, because so that is that my home now, my parental home, I no longer love because the home of my beloved is where I want to be. So that is that expression of that Vyakuta, that restlessness which the sages are talking about. Have you felt this? Do you feel like you're in the wrong place if you're getting involved in some worldly story, in some narrative about all that the sage talked about money, name, creature comfort, sense pleasure? When involved in these things, you must feel like you want to rush back home. And if that feeling of wanting to rush back home is there, then the methods are secondary. If wanting to be God is the primary intention, then the method that you use to get to God is secondary because God already knows what your intention is. He won't say application rejected because you were meant to do the prayer, instead you are doing the inquiry. You see, or vice versa. That why are you inquiring? You were meant to pray. So the method is secondary. The feeling of homelessness when we are away from our true home, that is the key. Now, initially, what happens is that it can feel like the other way around. Satsang or wanting to pray or the heart temple to be empty over there can feel too restless. I want to grasp onto something. I want to hold on to something. Can feel too naked without some support of the habitual thinking that we have, the habitual grasping that we have. So it can feel too restless initially when we are switching homes. But once you get used to your true home, then the false place of Maya, the selfish place of egotism, Maya is Maya, the me comes. So it starts to feel alien. You start to feel, like a yucky feeling. You don't want to be there too long. It's not about the external place, but your inner environment, when your soul, when your antakarna is immersed in selfishness, in egotism, then that feels like hell, literally. And maybe that is the only hell. And when it is filled with God's love and light, with the Spirit's love and light, that feels like home, it feels like heaven. So the more time you spend in your true home, the more you will get used to it, where you're getting infused with true knowledge, true love, true light, true peace, contentment. So that process of transfusion, that process of infusion in the holy and yet unperceivable light from the Atma, from the Spirit, to fill up our insides, is the process of spirituality. So it should start to feel like you're running out of oxygen when you're immersed in Maya. And it'll start to feel like that only if you spend more and more time in the true place. Then you see that these worldly things that we are grasping for are not worth anything at all. So once you see that your spiritual work, your spiritual endeavor is much more important than any other endeavor, then you allow yourself to be dipped in this holy light. And that transformation from your inside brings you to knowledge, self-knowledge, true self-knowledge of the real self, and also allows you to play your role in the world without any suffering, without any mental duality. So suffering is what being away from the light of spirit looks like. What the absence of inner satsang looks like. What happens in the light of spirit, in the light of the art? Many of us are doing the Atma Darshan Samadhi. And for us, the prayer is, bless my heart with the light of spirit. Why do we ask for this blessing? What happens in that? What happens in that actually, I started the topic, I'm aware, but is mostly ineffable, cannot be spoken about. But somewhere we feel that we are holding God and we are being held by God. behold God is also to be held by God. Now, Maya wants to carry out, its own procedure on us to hold the world and to be held by the world. So, in a way, a simple way of looking at it is, who are we married to? Are we married to the world? Are we married to the Atma within? Because what you are married to, truly in your heart, not a forced contract, but truly in your heart is where you will want to naturally be, where you will want to naturally spend your time. The sages have provided us pathways to come to this place. And there are so many available to us that we can pick what resonates with us. But we cannot pick the steps in the inner journey. We can only pick the method. You cannot say, uh, okay, let me become an Advaitin, and then I will ask myself the holy question, who am I? And Dehradun, I am pure awareness. Because the holy question, who am I? You may read or you may come to the conceptual knowledge that you are pure awareness. You see? But that is the difference between knowing the answer and being the answer. You may know, as I keep repeating, because it's a lesson for myself, as I keep repeating that we may know a lot about humility, but we may not do one humble act in a day. So we are not humble, but we know a lot about humility. In the same way, we may know conceptually that we are awareness, but that may not be our living insight. And it may feel like I, as somebody, now knows that I am awareness. So, what happens if sincerely we ask the question, who am I? Where does that lead us to? Leads us to the same doorway, same pathway, which is at the door of the Atma within, which many times can seem like a dark and empty place. And therefore it can seem fearful, restless, helpless, pointless, boring. So the mind doesn't like that place at all. Do whatever you want, don't do this. He told me, you stop all this, I'll give you a good life. Basically, the god of death, Yamaraj, had the same conversation with Nachiketa. And he said, I'll give you whatever you want. Don't ask me about what is beyond death, what is beyond me. So If we are empty, realize that the mind hates that empty. It would rather we spend our time solving non-existent problems, dealing with non-existent things for the non-existent identity. And what I mean by non-existent is that which comes and goes. So the attempt to speak about the holy light, the holy light of true knowledge and love, is just an attempt for you to be reassured at that place when your mind is attacking the emptiness. When nothing is happening, what's the point of all of this? And the mind can come, of course, in your own head or in the mouths of people around you also. Why are you wasting your life? What is the point of what you're doing? So now I've attempted to provide a very important point of what you're doing. Is that in the holy light of the Atma within, there is a transfusion, an infusion into our insides, our soul, our antakarna, whatever word you want to use, of love, light, and knowledge. And no amount of any worldly possession or relationship cannot buy us 1 second of this infusion. I feel like that should be good enough as a project to counter the mind's idea of the pointlessness of remaining empty, open and empty. Otherwise, there was really no reason to talk about the infused prayer or the marifa or the Atma Gyan. There's no reason to talk about it because really it cannot be spoken about. But it is an efficient counter to the mind's argument that what is the point of what you're doing? Why are you just sitting? Get a life, get a haircut. I hope it's encouraging to know that although the effect may not be perceivable, something in your heart may already be resonating in faith with the fact that this holy light is causing a great transformation within myself. The idea is to inspire and encourage. And the words of the sages, that's what they do. And they create the energetic environment within you for this to happen. But you have to put in the work for the absence of work. It can feel like work, very hard work. To be empty can seem like the hardest work, where actually it is the absence of any grasping. Isn't it strange? Huh? Strange. Because what are all the sages asking us to do? When we are hard at work at our workplaces, I wish I could just relax. Now, when you're being told that your work is to just relax in your heart, just dive in, relax. No, because our habit, our conditioning is the other way around. It wants us to do. It wants us to get spirituality in our head. It wants us to understand the spirit conceptually. But it is only the pointers to spirit and the expressions of love which can be put into words, not the spirit itself, not the Atma itself. So allow the mental resistances to come and go. You have faith that your remaining empty, although maybe conceptually and perceptually empty, is actually a process of filling yourself with light without getting any imagery or visualization involved. And so much light that all difference, all distance dissolves. So when we say bless my heart with the light of spirit, we are saying bless my soul, bless my antakarna with the light of spirit. And soon the antakarna and the spirit become indistinguishable. That is why it's very confusing when we talk about soul and spirit. Isn't that the same? It can be. It is designed for that. But you can fill it up with whatever you like. Yeah. What are you filling yourself up with? So, what is spirituality? To be empty of any process of filling up myself so that God can fill me up. Getting it? That's why it has to unfold. That's why it cannot be forced. What you can do is not do. What you can do is not grasp. Are you an empty vessel for God? So as much room as you create is the room that you're offering to God to stay. What have you not handed over? That will create duality within you. and duality will lead to suffering. So if your heart is divided, I really want God, really, really, I want God. But just don't take my money, please. Then your heart is divided, and this will create the push and pull which Maya can use to keep you distracted away from God. Instead, if we say that everything is yours, and I'm not fearful because I know that you love me, and you will do only what is best for our love. And then you see the silliness of it all. Like the whole idea that God wants to take away something from us when He has given us this very life to live is absurd. And yet, if something is getting in the way, if you are attached to some Lego blocks, and that is getting in the way of your growth, then the parent will take the Lego blocks away. If you are a bridegroom or a bride who says, "No, I want to go to the altar for my wedding and carry my Lego blocks with me," it sounds like a very absurd example, but that's how we live. Or maybe Monopoly is a better board game to talk about. What would you like God to do? Keep you fearful of losing your attachment? And I promise you that He is nudging us in the most gentle way to let go of them. And now you're being informed that in return for your grasping at these small things, you're getting the highest union, merging into the highest. Or knowledge of the fact that it is already one. So, if God is telling us, leave your phone and you can live with me forever, just take this along. Leave your phone. You won't miss it, I promise you. So, this phone is metaphor for attachments, Maya. And our question is, our demand is prove it. While I have my phone, prove it that I'm going to live with you in heaven. Living with you is another way of saying heaven. So that demand is our lack of. Just to make sure everyone's still living. We want to take Maya into heaven. And again, when you let go of your phone, doesn't mean that he will take your phone away. But there is a chance. Otherwise, it will just become a tactic that we try to use. If it is guaranteed that you let go of your phone and nothing will happen to your phone, then it becomes just a tactic. I am letting go. I am loving my ego so that my ego can die. You don't really love your ego. You want it to die. That is not love. The tactics don't work. Strategy also doesn't work. It's just simple, humble, loving attention to God's presence in your heart for as much time as possible. So if you are told, I have all the medical examples because of the medical things I've gone through. So if you are told that you have a vitamin D deficiency, yeah, and you need to go in the sunlight, then will you just hear about going in the sunlight and say, "Oh, why is my deficiency not going?" Or intend to stay in the sunlight? Tell the doctor in 3 months, well, see, it should count for something. I wanted to, but how much time did you actually know? I was too busy. So look at it the exact same way. They said in the Bible that the road to hell is paved with good intention. It sounds like a very scary thing to say, but it's a very practical thing. Like if you just have good intention, then you may be full of good intention. But where is the actual transmission time for the transmission to happen? So then we say, but it is God. Why does He need time? He should just like that. I should spend all my time worrying about the faults, and He should fix me in no time. But that's not how relationships work. And we're trying to create a true loving relationship with God. Just to, on a lighter note, you feel like God wants to fill up heaven with 7 billion people who are constantly thinking about things in the world? One of us enters Swarlok, and what we find is that everybody is just on their phones. Yeah, talking to the, the hellish separation of the world. So Sri Ramakrishna said, let go of attachments to all of these worldly things and have this burning restlessness to only feel like God is your oxygen. How to do that? You can't just say, I'm going to decide to be restless today. You can only do that by spending more and more time in true play. And be careful of substitutes that pretend to be holy. You know what I mean by that? No, really, I don't feel like praying or inquiring. So I'll just, that's good, isn't it? It is good only if it leads you to that silent transmission. Huh? Nothing is a substitute for that. Definitely not our intention is not a substitute for that. Definitely not our postponing. And simple tips. I'm sounding a bit scary, so let me make it a bit simpler. So you have come to the end of your day, and all this is from my experience, okay? Because I do exactly the same stuff. So yeah, I've come to the end of my day. Mind says, "Oh, what about your prayer?" Because you just got so lost in the world. You talk a big talk, but where is the actual focus prayer? And then it offers a solution. It says, okay, tomorrow, whole day is prayer. It doesn't say, okay, you have 10 minutes now. So use that 10 minutes now. Don't go for the glorious tomorrow. Go for the all right today. What is that they say? The perfect is the enemy of the good. So if it's good enough for now, do that. Postpone. Okay, too much is happening. People are rushing in and out of hospital, all these kind of things. You have time to say the name of God once. Because you're waiting outside the hospital room. Do it. Don't wait for things to be settled tomorrow. Use every opportunity, every relief that you get from the clutches of Maya, because that will change your trajectory. Hmm? Know that one moment of the choice to love God can change the trajectory of your entire life. And this is the only choice that we have. Is the only difference between pap and punya, between sin and rightful action, dharma and adharma. All of these things are simplified in that choice in this moment to go with my pride or to go with my love. And remember that the love for truth in the form of self-inquiry is also the love for God. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. The truth, the Lord highest self and beauty are not different. The highest beauty are not different from each other. It's the same. Both need us to let go of our attachments to the false. See, I promise the monologue will start.
Wonderful. So that's your full time for the world. Blessing and my family, what are they used for? Or it just
Yeah, so phone, of course, was not about the phone itself, but phone was metaphor for the world, just our grasping. But it's a good question. So if we can be a little vigilant to what takes us away from our time with God, if we are in focused prayer and focused inquiry, and the mind says, "Oh, but this," and we are not able to let go of it, then that is our attachment. It has to be surrendered or inquired into. So, favorite topic in Sangha is we pretend it's God, but actually it's a relationship. So, so uh, let's say the thoughts of a particular relationship or all relationships, they bring us out of our sadhana, our practice. Then we can offer those, the one who wants relationships or better relationships, offer that one to God or inquire into the nature. I will be happy if my relationship with this one is better. Inquire into the nature of that I. Who is this I? And the path of the bhakta is to say that my relationship is with you, God. तुमसे वो जोड़ी अवर्सन तोड़ी. Mean that I have linked myself to you and I have broken my links to the false illusory realm of Maya. So whatever disturbs us or has the capacity to disturb us in our prayer, we can keep offering that to God, keep bringing that into His light, and pray on it, and we can inquire into the one who wants it this way. So phone maybe a good one for some of us.
So this same point
Yeah.
you mentioned, how to use that context, see what is happiness or bringing it like hunger.
One thing I've noticed in my case also is that, and also many of you, is that many times it's not something which you really want to grasp at. It's just based on compulsion, based on what you think the world, you think the world thinks you should be doing. Sorry if it sounded more complicated than it was meant to be. Like, oh, if I'm sitting and meditating, what will my family think of me? If I'm praying, then what judgment will they form about me? Such an absurd thing that in the world, there may be a preference for us to be outward and involved with this world versus inwardly creating a strong, deep love for God, a deep bond with God. So all of us in humanity suffer from vitamin G deficiency. And the only cure for that is time with God's presence.
Father,
Yeah.
can I ask something, please? Thank you. Um, there is still an idea. I was just following your guidance, and I'm identified with this idea that sometimes that I'm right and someone else is wrong. And
So then are you right about this?
look, in theory, I know I'm not right.
Sometimes
It's just,
you have this idea.
sorry, say that again, please.
You're not right that you have this idea about having this idea.
Yeah, it's like I don't. When I was following what you were saying, it was clear that I'm not. It was clear that I'm maybe nothing. Okay, uh, but then when I brought this thought and this maybe conflict in my intellect again, it's like it doesn't. I don't know if I know how to dissolve this identity in my consciousness. And it came over years since I'm in Satsang. It comes, and sometimes I see it, and then it drops, but sometimes it takes a while until it dissolves, either in prayer or either in this attempt to keep quiet or open and empty.
That is the indication. That how do we know that a particular contemplation is helpful or it is just intellectual? We know because are we falling into our heart more and more, or are we getting more and more involved in our head? So that compass helps us to determine what should get our focus. And that may be different for all of us. So like some of you may be very attracted to the question in your heart, where am I? Where am I looking at the world from? And for others, it may just become something in the head, some imagination, or just thinking about science or something like that. So, so that is why there are so many pathways available to us, so that we can see in this moment what is taking us deep into that holy photosynthesis, the, what were we calling it? The photo booth of the Atma, and what is taking us in our head. And that is why we can't really say which method is best for us or which question is best for us. We have to just check in terms of the effect that it has. So we were contemplating this topic, whether we can count listening to bhajan as focused prayer time. And ultimately the answer has to be, it depends on what happens to you. If in listening to the bhajan, your mind intellect is getting stimulated and it's all about enjoying the beats, it's all about enjoying the dopamine, then it may not be uh, that good if it is only about that. But if in listening to a bhajan, you feel love for God in your heart, you feel inward facing, you feel that you're being supported in your practice, you're being led to His presence. Even though these other things may still happen, as long as these things are still happening, which is that you're being led to God's presence in your heart, then it's fine. But if it's just, I heard this term, sorry if I'm digressing. In India, you know what has become popular, and we were contemplating this in the Krishna Das concert, where there's a new fad called bhajan clubbing. You heard of it? Bhajan clubbing. So bhajan clubbing is you don't go to clubs because clubs are expensive and maybe you don't like all the bad habits and things that are available there. So, but you want to have a good time. So you go bhajan clubbing. All the beats are there and the drums are there. You get all of that. So I came across this trend on Instagram that a lot of youngsters want to do bhajan clubbing. So it's fine as long as you're enjoying. It's very good, but the enjoyment should lead to but deepening in faith, in love, in humility. There's a difference between uh, devotional bhajan and just enjoying the beat.
Father, I feel both. Like for myself, I feel like sometimes I pray, and sometimes like I think most of the times I try to inquire or keep open and empty in a way. And I just, by grace,
You
it
what
works when it's necessary.
what I'm using Saint Teresa's definition of prayer, which is not just making the petition to God, but including active recollection, passive recollection, prayer of quiet, the prayer of union, and ultimately the prayer of divine marriage, all is counted as prayer itself. So, all the stages of spirituality, we may say, uh, Nirantar Japa, Dhyana, Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all of these stages we may say in India. She said them in the West. And all of these I'm counting as prayer. So I'm counting any attempt at quiet contemplation. So we may say in Advaita, we may say Shravana, Manana, Sharanam, if you want to add that, and Nididhyasana. So all the entire thing of Advaita Vedanta is also in the way I'm using the term prayer,
Yeah.
including all of that. This is not just the petition, making a petition to God, which is also prayer. So I'm not looking at prayer and Nididhyasana or self-inquiry or what self-inquiry leads to. I'm not looking at them as separate things.
True. Mm, and I'm not. Um, I don't uh, have. I don't. How to say this? I don't have a. Or I guess I apply both. I don't. I can't follow you on the depths of the prayer that you you're going into. My prayer is quite simple. It's either ADS or chanting or a petition. And generally with that, yeah, maybe
Let me try and clarify.
but with that, I'm targeting or I aim to be in communion with God. So I aim for my peace and silence and for love. So in a way, probably somewhere it meets. It's just like I don't follow all the steps.
Suppose I have come first time to satsang. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking to you and you are the one sharing satsang. So I'm saying, Guru Ma, please help. I am using the name of the Lord to try and meet him, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? I'll tell you what I'm doing and you tell me what I'm doing wrong. So what I do is Ram, 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 Ram. And then I just go to and do my work. You see? And then I have a few minutes, I just do Ram, 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 Ram. And then I just go and do my work. Why am I not meeting God?
Because son, you don't do enough Ram Nam. You need to persist. You need to chant more.
Is it just my connection or everyone?
Let me move. Anna, come here. You need to persist, father.
I need to.
Insist. Say more, Nama.
I need to say more. Okay, so Ram 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 Ram, and then I go into my work. Ram 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 Ram, go into my work. Ram Krishna. Huh? Try Krishna inside. Okay.
What do you mean?
Do Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and then I just go and do my work and whatever needs to be done. And then
What do you mean by going into your world?
into my work or whatever I have to do. Because if when I go to a work meeting, I can't just keep doing Hare Ram, Hare Krishna.
But just remember from time to time to do Hari Ram.
Time to time, I've tried this. This is exactly what I'm trying. Why am I not meeting God? He doesn't like it. What I would say, if somebody came to me for advice, I would say that, the effect of taking God's name is that it provides a momentum to go inwards. So what you are doing is you're doing all the cooking, but you're never doing the eating. So what should happen is pick a name of God which resonates deeply in your heart, an expression of God which you love deeply. You love His Leela, you love His plays, you love recounting things from His life or her life, whether it is Devi or Ram, it doesn't matter as long as you love deeply in your heart, or at least a glimpse of that love is there, whether it's Jesus or Devi Ma, or whether it is Allah or His Prophet Muhammad, or any true messenger of God or incarnation of God. Pick one.
Yeah.
And if you say Ram, notice what it does to you. Stay in that taste. Notice where that holy word takes you. And stay there, humbly and patiently. Because you're at the sanctum sanctorum of the true temple which is in your heart. And here we are receiving. Here we are listening to that which is beyond our ears to hear. We are listening with our hearts. We are available with our hearts. And it is up to him when he wants to switch on the lights of the sanctum sanctorum and the darshan of his presence in the form of the Atma, the spirit, becomes palpable to us. It is not our business anymore. Our job is to just go there and wait. So if God's name is the sugar cane, and us chanting his name is to squeeze the juice out of the sugar cane, then it is also important to drink that juice. So whether it is prayer or inquiry, same thing we can say for inquiry. I'm asking who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I, who am why am I not finding myself? I'm constantly asking, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Bhagavan said, ask who am I? I'm asking, who am I? Who am I? Can anybody find themselves like this? Find the true self like this? Can't find. The question takes us to that holy place where that love, where that truth is revealed to us, where the light is turned on by God Himself. And in the revelation of the Atma, He reveals, the Atma itself reveals that which is the source of Atma itself. We cannot bypass this process. No matter, we may say a million, who am I? But if it doesn't become a sincere question first, and that sincere question doesn't cancel out the mind and intellect interference and allow us to remain empty, then the light of truth will not fill us up. And it is in the light of truth being filled up within us, there is the true self reveal itself. So there is no real prayer or real inquiry without empty. We continue to be full of ourselves, then we are not creating the space for God. So it's easier, rather than to say prayer, inquiry, all these methods, to say that this is what allows me to juice the spiritual juice. And as I drink the holy juice, it allows me to stay in the presence of spirit, whether it is palpable yet or not. Whether I have to stay completely in faith or I have the blessing of the holy darshan within. Either way, we have to stay there. You see? And that is the maximum extent of what we can do. We cannot force God to switch on the light. We cannot force the self to reveal itself. We cannot force the Atma that now I've done enough. You have to now shine the light on that which is the nirguna, the attributeless, the unperceivable reality. All our pushing doesn't work. It is our patience and humility that works. So you pick whatever method allows you to remain empty in your heart. Empty means to remain in the patient, loving, simple, humble, non-grasping at anything at all for as much time as possible. You see, so that is the way to read scripture as well. You can't say, Aham Brahman Asmi, Aham Brahman Asmi, Aham Brahman Asmi, I am that, Nirguna, I am. You're as good as a parrot. Unless you say, I am that, I am that. It's not in the way that I'm saying it. I'm trying to tell you that these holy words should lead you to the quiet, to the stillness, to the silence inward. Because that is where the discipleship of the Atma happens, the transmission of his holy light happens. So you were going to Banaras and you had a wonderful visit in Banaras. You saw a beautiful thing. But if all I asked you was which road did you take? Did you take the left road or the right one? Oh, you took the left one? Why not the right one? Oh, really? So, and the whole conversation was just about which road you took. Won't you say at the end? The road I took is not the most important thing in what I'm trying to tell you. The most important thing is where these roads lead. And the ocean called God can be met through a million rivers. We just have to dive in. But that ocean, the merging into the ocean will happen only when you take that, when your head takes that holy dip. Our head has to fall into our heart. Otherwise, no method is useful. And if without a method, just a simple turning in can make our head fall into our heart, then we don't need a method. But I'm scared to say these kind of things because we have started to take great pride in ourselves being methodless to our own detriment. If you have a boat, then use the boat. Why you want to swim? Don't let your pride get into your spirituality. If God's name brings you into the heart, use it. You don't have to be so nirguna, oh, be just a glass. Who are we trying to prove what to God? Whatever words use. Ram Ram will get you to the same place as Om Namah Shivaya. There are no two separate heart temples, one for Shiva, one for Ram, one for Jesus, one for Allah. Your heart is not a crowded place. Know that it's the same. So our spiritual method must be based on its effectiveness for us, not any other consideration. Not that I feel very good that, I am on the pathless path. Look at all these people going to temples and pilgrimages. I am on the pathless path. something makes the inner magnet activated. We, during the course of the day, we don't want to turn inward. Then we hear, or we read a spiritual passage, or we hear a bhajan, or we hear God's name, or we hear some great scriptural book about the self, and we are drawn within. It can seem like our attention is the vehicle to pull us in, but it's something beyond attention. So whatever does that for you, it could be looking at a flower, be anything. That is your spiritual practice. Where your attempt at turning inward, it can seem effortful, then something makes it live, something makes it natural. What is that for you? You have to determine. The full buffet is laid out in front of you. But what is helpful for you to dive in? Only you can tell. And that may change from time to time. So don't be too quick to label yourself and put yourself in a box which is created by Maya. मैं तो इंक्वायरी ही करूंगा और I'm a bhakta only, I only can take the name of God. It may change. So what is it that is bringing you to God now? I don't know. I am delivering this point, maybe an answer to someone, but have you examined how the inquiry could work? Say, who am I? Or you say, मैं कौन हूँ? और मैं कौन है? You say, नानी यार. Correct? Then what happens? Does the answer emerge in your intellect? I am Brahman. Then what other way of knowing could there be? Now we're going to the really subtle realm. So see if you can stay with me. So if it's not conceptual understanding where I have the concept, I am Brahman, nor is it an experience of some blast. Many think that awakening or enlightenment is like an explosion, like a blast within or something like that. It's not that. It doesn't have to be anything perceived. So if it is neither concept nor perception, what other way of knowing something do you have? And what do you know from there? Now, if I say something like, the Atma loves to pray in your heart, you may say, I know this because I go to my heart and I get the vibration Ram, Ram. Now, I am saying that you can know this even without perceiving the vibration. What is that way of knowing? That is the knowing that you receive. It is not through the exercise of any tool that you have, not your intellect, not your mind intellect, not your senses, not your ability to perceive things as memory, imagination. None of it. It is pure knowledge which is just received. It's like pure love is just received. That is the beauty of Atma Gyan. Knowledge received from the Atma is completely different from conceptual knowledge. You never put yourself in the quiet receiving position in your heart, then how will it be received? This is how inquiry works. It makes us give up on our mind, it makes us give up on our intellect, it makes us give up on whatever we may be imagining, perceiving, and we are left in that humble helplessness, waiting to receive Atma Gyan. So eating is what we've been calling eating in satsang is actually just waiting with our mouth open for the mother to feed us. So that feeding process happens in the heart. That is the only pathway to self-knowledge, to true knowledge. That is the only pathway to freedom, the only pathway to love, to devotion, bhakti. And this process of receiving is called grace. Happens only by God's grace. Some sages have said prayer is not as much a speaking as it is a listening. But this is the listening that they are talking about. Just this is the inner posture where we are just open to receiving. What is a good substitute for this receiving? Let me think about my problem instead. It's a good substitute. No? There is no substitute in Maya for this. the substitute for Maya. The only thing that comes 100th of a percentage close to this is helping your brothers and sisters, serving them selflessly. But you notice that the day you've really been selfless, you become quiet in the same way, receiving from your heart as well. Hopefully, instead of swelling up with pride. So basically, I'm saying that everything else is a waste of time. But the beauty of this is that once you get used to focused prayer, then you could be having a conversation with friends, you could be watching something on TV, but your inner posture is always open to receive. I'm scared to say this early because then that can become a good excuse also. But you are only you can judge yourself. Age is a better word, Bhav. The sense of the project. I've seen how the Gyan Marg and the Bhakti Marg are the same actually. Only outwardly different. Even the yoga path, all these can be called branches of yoga also. If we go with Patanjali's definition that yoga is just the cessation of the movements of the mind, he's basically saying be empty in a fancy way and providing the method to be empty.
Father. Father. Mm. Your guidance is true and perfect.
Can you say that
And
again? Guidance is?
can you hear me well? I mean,
Now it's better,
that
yes.
your guidance is true and perfect. It's just that we don't fully follow it, but it is like that.
So sweet of you, but I wish that was true. Far from. Actually, any words are far from perfect, but thank you. Very sweet.
No, but I mean, it's not yours, it's what it is. You know? And I have something to say to you. It's been a while since we don't talk.
This is true.
Yeah, and I have to tell you that recently, very recently, like a week ago, I met a new master
Ah,
whom I'm considering my new master. And it's been a very, very profound meeting. And I feel I cannot just run away in silence like a thief, or if I were doing something wrong or something like that, you know? And I'm deeply, deeply grateful with you. And these years, walking with you and receiving so much grace from you. And I cannot not acknowledge it, you know, and because you showed me, Father, you showed me. And I don't know, I feel I cannot keep calling you Father, but it's inevitable. But
what do
you
want to
showed
call
me. Huh?
Call me Ananta, it's fine.
Ananta-Ji. It's very strange, but I have to get used to it. But you showed me that I'm not my mind. And you also ignite in myself devotion. The path of bhakti is, you planted it in my heart. And you are always with me and will be always with me. But I feel I cannot be here and there, you know? And also for the Sangha, I have to say that I am here if anyone at any moment feels for any reason to reach me out for something. My friendship is here. It's in, and it's true. And yes.
Very good. Sweet. Thank you. I'm very happy. I truly, truly feel that I have a long way to go in terms of being a true teacher of God. So I'm very happy if your heart has led you to someone who's a better instrument of his life, and not better in the way of a competition or something like that, but better for you. If you feel that resonance in your heart, if you feel like he's bringing you closer to God's light and presence, or she or he, then I'm very, very happy, because my only intention, my only joy in life is to bring all of you to Him, to the Atma within. And I can only pray that whoever your heart is trusting as your teacher now is going to be true to that. And with their blessing, with their light, may you be led to the only true master. May you never fall into any duality about masters or what our purpose is, and any of this false uh, idea of what spirituality is. I hope you are always kept safe from all of that, and may you find God's holy presence, the Atma within, and may you be led without any other intention to that holy place. I have no constraint, I have no, nothing changes in my heart because of what you said. I think you're still a child of my heart, and that I'm not saying from any pride of being a father or something like that. I'm just saying that I just feel like all those who are open to uh, their life being for God are children of the Sadguru, who this instrument tries to speak for, tries to be a humble instrument of. So don't feel that now this chapter has to be closed, and you have to uh, make some conceptual distance between us or something like that. You see, no pathway means that love for each other has to reduce in whatever way. You may follow any master, any teacher, but our love for each other as brothers and sisters and fathers and daughters can continue to be how it was. These outer changes should not change the love for each other in our hearts. Know that nothing changes in my heart for you. I may be a little more careful in my expression, in the sense of remembering that too much different guidance can be confusing for any of us. I may not be as imposing in my guidance or pointing. And I trust your heart that you've found somebody whose only love is God and only interest is in serving Him. And full blessings in my heart, full blessings for this. In fact, it is sometimes a relief also, because the more who are sharing God and you children are being helped, it makes my job kind of easier as well. So I'm not unhappy at any level, because I'll miss you, seeing you in Zoom at times, and you're always welcome to join. But always remember that there is zero complaint or resentment from my side about how this has unfolded. You see, and if you feel ever, maybe 20 years later, if this body is still there, and if you feel like you want to come home in this way, the doors are always open for you. And this applies to anyone, whether you tell me openly or you. Thank you so much for that, by the way, that you made this beautiful report. I know it's not easy. It's probably one of the most difficult things we have to do. But I appreciate your honesty very much. And thank you so much for letting me know what's happening with you. But I'm
I
always
owe that.
thank you.
And I know you are home for me, Father. I know you are home. It's just where I know I have to be now. It's just that. And I just follow because my life is for God, and I just have to obey, and what I feel truly in my heart. It's just that. But but you are home for me. And you are for me, like you are a true teacher. You know, and I aspire to love God the way you do. Yes.
Very sweet. And you never have to feel that you have to keep your teacher's name under wraps or scared that, oh, I came to Ananta-Satsang and I was talking about my new teacher and what if people defect to him and all of that and Ananta is left without a Sangha or something like that. I'm truly very happy. In fact, if there's a very good teacher of God, I'm happy to follow also. I'm happy to follow.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah.
Father Ananta.
Father, there's no, I mean, from my side, it's not something that if you are attending satsang with me, then you call me father, or I have no such. I never asked anyone to start calling me. I never asked anyone to stop calling me. Whatever resonates in your heart, unless you feel like, oh, now he's not feeling very fatherly or something, you can say. But no, there's no rule from my side. That
I cannot stop calling you Father. I can't.
I'm not asking you to. Like,
I know.
yeah, there are many children, obviously, that in this spiritual movement, I have, by grace has led me to the feet of a few teachers in my life as well. So that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful to all those who have blessed me, all those who have shared with me so beautifully and selflessly. From my channel, so you don't have to worry about the terminology so much.
Say again, the last thing?
The terminology, Father, Ananta, you don't have to worry at all about anything.
No, it's that I guess I don't know. It's because sometimes you said no that if you truly call me father, I mean it's not a light thing, you know, to call someone. It's not just oh, I call him like that because everyone does, and because we are in satsang, it's not like that. Yeah.
Good point, but really the point is that you are not letting go of what is being shared with you. Hopefully, that is my hope, at least, that you are not letting go of that which is being shared with you. You realize it is coming from the true place in the heart. And you just found an expression that is resonating with your heart more strongly. And that, and I hope and I pray, of course, that, and I bless that the new home that you are finding is also full of love for God, full of only His light. And so then the Father remains the same because it is not this foolish boy that is the Father.
Yes. It is like that.
Feel free to share with your Sangha brothers and sisters what is happening to you, with me if you like as well. There is no restriction. You know that in satsang we can play videos of many teachers, and we have been doing that from all cultures and traditions. So we are happy to. I'm very, very happy to meet or come to know about another teacher of God. It brings joy to my heart. Very, very,
Thank you.
may God always bless you, keep you safe spiritually. May you deepen more and more in your love and light. And may all that you heard in Satsang be continue to flower more and more through the different expression, but the same source.
Yes. Yes. Love you. I love you.
Amir says, here also we call every teacher Baba, which is also father. We are chill. So just chill. Eight o'clock. Okay. Let's quickly hear Ellen and Samir.
Hello, Father. I just wanted to express my gratitude. For a long while, it's been such a struggle to be with God. And so often your words have been a transmission. And now there's an outpouring in my heart that is just, and I know I just wanted to say, like, so much of it is from listening to you and actually just knowing the truth of what you say. And I just wanted to express my gratitude. That's it. a quick, yeah.
So sweet. And I'm happy to see you smiling. And I can tell that you're in your heart. So very happy. Samir? Where to you? Okay.
Hi, Father. Just hi.
Hi. So,
Yeah.
thank you. I know you're considerate for my health. Thank you so much. I know you're being considerate for my health. Thank you so much. No? Okay, I take it back.
Yes, yes, same. Love you, Father. Thank you for everything. Love you.
So I want all of you to be supportive of Paula's journey, and I don't want anyone saying, what are you doing, or any of this stuff. I want all of you to just be there for her. She should feel like she has now so much more love, you see, a new family and the old family. So she should not feel like alienated in any way because her heart is pulling her in this way. And please, nobody tell her that she was with the best teacher or something like that. It's just not true. Full support, full openness. Maybe there's a lot we can learn from her. So I'm very happy if she comes and shares what she's learning also, whenever she feels to.